So, I'm reviewing Luigi's Mansion 2 anyway. Yeah, what did I say again? Now, speaking of which, my Luigi's Mansion review on the 3DS is officially cancelled because I've been playing this for hours now, and when I was finally done, the R button stopped working, the most important button in the game. Alright, I'm reviewing it anyways, but listen, I got a message from someone called Red Knight 158 or something, who told me to just blow the R button, and it would magically work. So at first I was like, yeah, right. But then after trying it, I was like, it worked! Crazy, right? Let's get started. So here we have Luigi's Mansion 2, the long-awaited sequel to Luigi's Mansion, which I never played. It was a big deal when it came out, because it was one of the first games with Luigi in the main role. Besides Mario's missing, Luigi is an interesting character. Ask anyone if they know who Luigi is, and I'm sure they will associate him as Mario's brother. He is the little green sidekick, yet he has a special fanbase all around the internet. There even is a meme called Luigi showing a creepy looking drawing of Luigi. Luigi might just be considered a more deep and humorous character than Mario himself. I think Nintendo are trying to make Mario some kind of role model with a very neutral personality that's easy to relate with. But Luigi as a side character is allowed to have more weaknesses, fears, and straight out personalities. Luigi's personality shows really well in Luigi's Mansion 2. The body language says a lot, although it doesn't talk that much. Luigi's Mansion is hard to define. It's not a typical platformer. Actually, it's not a platformer at all. Strangely, the only time you can jump is when pulling something. I have no idea why. Imagine if Link suddenly gained the ability to jump when lifting something. The game is kind of like a point-and-click adventure. The game consists of a lot of small rooms with plenty of objects to interact with. Luigi can use his vacuum cleaner to suck and blow objects, and it's often fun to see how objects react, and like how they shake around and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, I know they call it the Poltergust 2000, but don't make a fool of yourself. It's a vacuum cleaner. Also, Luigi gets this device called the Dual Screen, which is just an ordinary Nintendo DS, the original Nintendo DS. It's these kinds of references that add personality to the game. As opposed to the original Luigi's Mansion, this game has multiple mansions for you to explore, each with their own distinct theme. Then it all comes down to the ghost catching. While the game has plenty of puzzles and secrets to explore, one of the main things you'll be doing is catching ghosts. Now, I never played the first game, so I can't really compare the gameplay, but this is how it works. You flash the ghosts with the A button, and then you suck them up with the R button. The controls can be a bit weird, and their lack of buttons really shows that. The B button is both used to look down and run. The X button is both used to look up and to enter doors. I never found these limitations to irritate me, but it just shows how the 3DS should have had a second joystick. The graphics are excellent. There is more detail in one room than there is in an entire Mario stage. Just seeing all these objects and finding out ways to interact with them is just done really well. For example, you'll get to pick up an ice cube, bring it to an oven, and melt it to reveal an item. Every room introduces something new. You even get Toad helping you out in some of the stages. Now, is there anything really bad about the game? Well, it's a bit long. What I mean by that is just the fact that the way the missions are structured, they get too long. Each mansion has about 5 missions, and each mission takes about 20 minutes to complete. There's no way to save during a mission, so each play session ends up being about 20 minutes long, and sometimes that is just a little too long for a portable game. And forget about sleep mode, more like rest mode. The 3DS drinks up batteries so fast in rest mode. The game also has online, which didn't work at the time I was recording. That's typical, but when it worked, it was kind of fun doing little objectives and stuff. You can choose to either play locally with someone who has the game, someone who doesn't have the game, online with friends, and online with random people. This is great. It's rare I get to play a Nintendo game that allows all 4 options. Nintendo has been especially bad at including online with random people. I should really start wrapping this up. Luigi's Mansion 2, or Dark Moon as it's called in America, is a fantastic experience. It's a long adventure with light-hearted humor. If you expect to get spooked, you should look somewhere else. But if you want a fun parody of classic horror movies mixed with some great puzzle solving and ghost catching, then look no further than Luigi's Mansion 2. It might just be the best 3DS experience I've had so far, if you ignore Ocarina of Time 3D. So Nintendo, you're doing great with the 3DS. Now, are you thinking of maybe giving us some Wii U games? I mean, I'm not going to make you stressed or anything, but a few Wii U titles would have been fine. And I love how you bring back old franchises again. Luigi's Mansion finally got a sequel. Pikmin is at last getting a third installment. Earthbound is finally getting released in Europe, and it only took 19 years to do it. I'm certain you also have Star Fox coming back. And please, make another F-Zero. I won't stop talking about it.